Guys, I've been thinking about this, and I'm pretty sure I've said something along these lines before, and I can't take credit for this. This came from a book that I read. Might even be Zig Ziglar. Can't remember. Sales guy. Whoever they are, right? Whoever they are, right? Could be your client, your customer, your family, your child, the person sitting across from you at the table, the person you're trying to convince to sell sell their house to you, whoever they are, they do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. And really what that means is no one cares if you have all the data. Nobody cares if you're the smartest guy. Nobody cares if you are, even if you're charismatic, right? Like that's cool, but that fades, right? People are like, okay, you're not in the room anymore, right? You're not in the room anymore. You were really cool. I connected with you. But they have to know that you care, and specifically care about them, right? Because think about it, you guys. Put yourselves in this, and this really is like what I'm thinking about this. You really have to put yourself in these people's shoes, right? Like, we want to do business with people we know, like, and trust. Who do we know, like, and trust more than anybody? Probably yourself, right? If you really think about it, the only person you truly know is yourself, right? Who's the person that you trust more than anybody? Probably yourself, right? Or, a close family member, right? But hopefully you can trust yourself. So you gotta think, that's what those people are thinking too. You really, and this could be just some woo-woo stuff or whatever, I don't know, but I'm thinking more and more about this, is that these people may sell their house, or they probably, like, if I'm talking to them, they probably will, right? They're in the market to sell for whatever reason, usually not good. And I mean, they're getting hit up a lot. I'm not the only game in town. I'm not the only investor. I don't have the best marketing. I don't have, tens of thousands of dollars to throw at marketing. But how have I gotten deals before? And it's usually because people, at least I think, that they like me, right? That I'm personable, that I listen to them, that I care about their story, right? Because like I was saying in my last post or video or two ago about Pace being a storyteller, people love telling stories. People love hearing stories. In fact, I think, in ancient times, if you believe that, I think everybody was, stories. That's how things were told, right? Because we didn't have the TV, we didn't have social media. We had to be entertained. And how were we entertained before, hundreds or thousands of years ago or whatever, right? Probably through people telling us stories. How did people learn back in those days, right? They didn't have computers, right? Probably through storytelling. So I think people really have this in their I can't remember what part of your brain is. It's not your amygdala, but there's something called your lizard brain, and this is what your survival mechanisms, and probably deep down in there somewhere, people are like, oh yeah, I feel comfortable around this person. This person gets me. They're listening to me. They actually care about me, and they're not just trying to take advantage of me, right? Because I'm sure we've all had that, right? We've all had the pushy sales guy that we know was just trying to make a buck, right? Car salesmen usually get beat up a lot for that. But here's the deal. Really, if somebody came to me and they said, hey, I've heard you, I hear your situation, I hear your problems, I think there's a couple different solutions here, based off of my knowledge and expertise in the industry, or whether it's roofing or plumbing or HVAC or mental health, physical health, right? Like, we all go to experts and we ask for their advice. So you need to be an expert in the field of whatever it is you are, selling windows, selling pest control, being an investor. You need to be an expert. and you need to say like, hey, based off, like, I need, before I can, like a doctor, before I can diagnose your problem, tell me what's going on. Makes sense, right? Like, before, you know, like, hey, why did you call the HVAC person? Probably because your heating or AC isn't working. Okay, can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, is it not turning on? At what temperature is it not turning on? Are you getting any power? Is it kicking on and then turning off? Like, explain, right? And it's kind of the same thing you need to do in this situation as an investor, right? You need to be like, okay, so what's going on? You know what I mean? You can't pay your taxes, can't pay your bills. Okay, what happened? You know, like, is it a health thing? Is it a family thing? Is it, you know, a mental health thing? Is it an addiction thing? Like, you know, what's going on here? Because, you know, there might be other solutions that I have for you. It just depends on your situation, because I want to give you the best solutions that I can. And the only way for me to do that is to know about your situation. For example, I hear this one all the time. Oh, I need to be cashed out. I need all of my money right now. Okay, why? You know, what is your, if you don't mind me asking, like, are you going to put it in the bank account? You're going to go travel the world? Do you have a life-saving surgery that's going on? Like, what's going on? You know, do you need the money for an RV? Do you need the money to move? Do you need, what is it, right? And based off of what they tell me, you know, and there's some, you know, maybe they do need all the money, right? And I'm like, okay, I may not be able to help you because you need max value and you need it all right now. It sounds like you need to speak to like a homeowner, right? And go list it with an agent. Or sometimes I'm talking to investors and they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm not really in the selling mode. I'm still in the acquisition mode, right? So like, if I was to sell this property, it would only be to do a 1031 exchange, so I could take all the money, tax deferred, and roll it into another bigger asset. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Totally understand the 1031 process. Now that you've told me that, I totally understand that seller financing won't work for you, or that a low ball cash offer won't make sense, right? Because you need that money to go into a, you know, to a bigger asset, and you want to avoid the taxes. Gotcha. So yeah, it really does depend. And, you know, the more that more YouTube videos that I watch, the more experts that I talk to, the more Pace Morby people that I get in the room with, and John and Kurt, and I know you guys don't know these names, but the people that are local here to me that are doing business and doing it well, you know, I keep hearing them like, yeah, you need to really understand their pain point. What is their problem before you can help, right? And I think that's what I'm going to start telling people when they say how much you're going to give me. I'm just going to tell them, I was like, well, I mean, it depends. What's your problem? Like, why are you selling? Like, what's your pain point? Like, I don't have a solution for you until I know what your situation is, right? Like, I may have called you just to see if you wanted to sell. What makes you want to sell, right? Is it just that you want a bunch of money and you want it right now? I mean, if so, I'll hook you up with a realtor, right? If you just needed, if your home's in really good condition, yeah, I'll hook you up with a realtor. If it's in really bad condition, then I'm going to explain to you that, you know, you could list it, but you're then only going to be talking to people like me, and now you're going to have to pay commissions on top of that. Up to you. You can do that. Again, I'll hook you up with an agent. But, you know, some people don't want, hundreds of people walking through their house, and they don't want, the neighbors looking at all the pictures of your house online, right, and the condition that it's in, right? So, I mean, yeah, that's why I'm asking. I know it sounds kind of personal, and I'm sorry for if I'm overstepping here. I want to make sure that before I solve your problem or whatever, I need to know what it is. So, I think you just need to come at these situations, or your kid, right? Like, why are they misbehaving? Why are they getting in trouble in school? Like, ask them what's going on. Like, what's the problem here? Like, as you see it. What like let me step into your perspective. Let me get to your level. Whatever, right? Depends on how tall they are. Let me get to your level and say like, okay, cool. Let me see if I can help. And if I can't help, let me see if I can find somebody who can, right? So, anyways, I just want to make that video. That's something I was thinking about. And I know I do a lot of these driving around videos, and I don't know if anybody actually watches these things, but it helps me, right? Because I'm thinking about these things, right? I'm listening to music, I'm thinking about things, I'm knocking on doors, I'm trying to solve people's problems. But like, yeah, okay, they're in foreclosure. Okay, I understand that that's a problem. but like, is it the main problem? What are we solving for here? Do you guys just need a certain amount of money? Do you need more time? Do you need like $5,000 to, junk out your house and then list it? Like what are we doing, right? So yeah, you really just need to talk to people and see what's going on before you try to help people. And I think I've been guilty of that before. Be like, oh, you're in foreclosure. You need to sell your house. I can help, right? Maybe you should listen to people first. So anyways, I'm here at my next door, so let's see what we can do. Okay, peace.